Today we're going to start with a imagination exercise. You're going to close your eyes and with as much sight, smell, taste, sound, and touch as you can fathom, you are going to imagine that there's a unicorn in front of you. Now, this is not a cartoon unicorn. You're going to have to think a little harder. You're going to imagine a real life unicorn. The coat is whatever color you'd like it to be. Imagine the color and the sun is shining on it. And imagine the smell of the unicorn's breath as it breathes in your face. Pet the unicorn and feel what its coat feels like. Hear it trotting around and breathing. Now imagine that you're getting up on the saddle and you have love for this unicorn, because of course it's your unicorn, right? And you're going to give it a kiss and a hug. And imagine the energy that it gives you back. And for just a second, I want you to sit in that and now step back and imagine the entire unicorn. What does it look like to you? Now, if you're like me, your imagination was absolutely brutalized in school. I was considered sped until the 7th grade when one teacher looked at me and said, "You know what, Jessica? I don't think you're sped. I just think that you're lazy." And I was like, "What? That's crazy, because actually I'm stupid. Don't you know? That's what my paperwork says. I'm not good at testing and I don't like testing. And I don't care because once the test comes out, I just get bored and just answer through it real quick anyways." And she goes, "No, you're not. We're going to put you in honors classes." And I was like, "I don't think you understand, ma'am. I am estúpida. Stupid." And she was like, "No, I saw your poetry and I think we need to move you to honors." And I was like, "Oh, okay, well, now I guess I'm in honors." And counterintuitively, I went into these honors classes and it's like my imagination completely disappeared. My imaginative faculties were done being used. All of a sudden it was cramming, it was memorization, it was rote memorization, reading constantly, regurgitating information, and writing about things that I had read about that didn't really interest me, and about all these things I didn't necessarily care about. And I was never taught how to find my spirit, how to be in relation with myself, how to understand the faculties of my mind. Instead, I was told, "Here's what you need to do. Now make sure to get the good grade on the test so that you pass and move on." That's when I feel like my imagination truly died. And I don't know when you felt like your imagination died. Hopefully you were creative and hopefully your creativity was encouraged by your home or schooling situation. But for me personally, it didn't feel very much like it was. So if you feel the same, what I want you to do is that practice that I just showed you. Think about random cartoon characters and imagine them in real life. Imagine what they'd feel like, look like, taste like, smell like, all that in real life, and start to put yourself in the space with all the senses to see that happen. Because the more we practice that, the more we can visualize and see what we want for the future and make it more real and tangible in our subconscious mind so that we can have it in the physical reality. So here it says, "It has been said that man can create anything which he can imagine." And that's why I wanted you guys to do that imagination exercise, because a lot of times it's not so much that we can't create things, it's more that we literally can't imagine. We're not taught how to imagine. We're not shown in school how to visualize things. We're not shown in school how to create an image in our mind and use our senses to help us really develop an image in our mind's eye that is real and tangible to us, that we can feel, see, taste, touch, even if we can't do that in the physical world. So I think, again, if you're looking for a practice, that's a beautiful one. But let's move on to the creative imagination. Here it says, creative imagination. "Through the faculty of a creative imagination, the finite mind of man has direct communication with infinite intelligence. It is the faculty through which hunches and inspiration are received. It is by this faculty that all basic and new ideas are handed over to man." Again, when I talk about channeling or listening, turning on that sixth sense, this is what I mean here, those hunches or inspiration. Those are what you really want to be listening for. "It is by this faculty that all basic or new ideas are handed over to man. It is through his faculty that thought vibration from the mind of others are received. It is through this faculty that one individual may tune in or communicate with the subconscious minds of other men. I think it's interesting that he even uses the word tune in, because when you're talking about watching TV, oh, I'm going to go tune into that program. If you want to be the satellite of your own life, you need to tune in to what it is you want to be attuned to. You need to train your mind to be attuned to what it is you want. And I thought that was so good. So if you're feeling a bit of a hunch or a little bit of inspiration out of what feels like nowhere, that is what Napoleon Hill would call the creative imagination. And that creative imagination is what some religious individuals would say is, they say like made in God's image, right? Because we are creators. So that creative imagination is what they're talking about here in this book. Just like I was saying that we have to be intentional about imagining and creating imagination and using that faculty, it says here this: the creative faculty becomes more alert, more receptive to vibrations from the sources mentioned in proportion to its development through use. So depending on how often you're tuning in or you're acting on these hunches or these inspirations, that is when you'll get more. Unless your receiver's on and your antennas are kind of like channeling, you are not going to get any of this information. So every time you feel a hunch, or every time you feel that inspiration, act on it. Act on it and do something with it and listen to it and hear it. But the more you hear it, the more you will receive, because everything is a current. Everything likes to move. Currency, every current is energy, right? Everything likes to move, be like water. So the more you move and the more alert you are, the more downloads you are going to get, because you're moving with the process and going with the flow of energy, which I think is which is pertinent to moving forward. If you want to move forward, you have to move, period, right? So the next quote that I thought was really important was, both the synthetic and creative faculties of imagination become more alert with use, just as a muscle or organ of the body develops through use. So again, they will not stop bringing this up. If you're not putting in the reps, you are not going to get better. That's why I'm still coming on this channel and I'm still programming with you with this information, constantly making videos, telling you the same message, repeating myself over and over again, because these repetitions, what they are doing is it is building a muscle, not only out into you guys, but in me personally. And so within, so without, right? I'm sowing this in myself. I'm telling myself this. I'm regurgitating it. I'm practicing. I'm repeating, and I'm giving it out so that you guys can also have this and you guys can be using it. So if you learn this, the best thing you could do, again, be like water. When I give you this information, go give it to somebody that you think needs it, okay? And you don't have to go preaching at people. Maybe when you have somebody's ear and they're asking you for advice, you say, hey, have you ever thought about thinking about what you want? Have you ever thought about going with the flow and like listening to ideas that pop into your mind and just going with whatever the spirit pulls you to do? Maybe you talk in more religious terms. Maybe you're at church. Maybe you can say, oh, well, do what the spirit's telling you. Or maybe you go to a meditation group and you're going to be like, oh, what did you meditate on? What are you going to act on, right? You can teach these things to other people in whatever form that they are willing to hear it in. If you have children, maybe you pass this message on to your children. Maybe you write something on the fridge that says, where attention goes, energy flows. Give attention to what you want. Just anything like that is really useful. So if you feel that you're getting some good information from me, you never need to pay it back. This is something I told a student. One time a student was going through something and I gave them something and they were like, miss, that like, we'll pay you back. And I was like, sweetheart, that's not how the universe works. You never pay it back. You always pay it forward. Do you understand me? I have been helped so many times in my life by people when I couldn't when I needed help, when I genuinely was down bad. And what I want you to also realize is that if you're going through a dark patch right now, give to someone, okay? Do not expect to be given back from that specific person. But when you give to them, you don't have to tell them, but just know that that energy has to flow somewhere. So it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow. That child was 13 and they're going through something that they need that right now, and they're not in the capacity to give. But what I told that child again was, you never pay it back, you always pay it forward. This is the current of energy, right? It circulates, it goes around, it comes back. It is all flowing and all encompassing. So give out. And if this information is good for you and you're enjoying it, teach somebody else what I taught you, right? And you might just be able to get another download. Maybe you'll tune in next week and you'll get something that really resonates with you, or maybe you'll be more attuned because you're being reminded from me, and maybe your imagination and your creative imagination will just be a little more turned on, and then tomorrow you might hear something in your mind or see something that sparks inspiration, and if you act on it, maybe, just maybe, again, you don't have to pay it back, maybe you could pay it forward and something good will happen, which I absolutely love that idea. I don't love that it's an idea. I know that it's a fact. I know that it is part of, let's say, I know that that is how the universe works. I used to say things like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. That's so crazy. And I've stopped saying that because I don't want to make it seem like that is wild or that's crazy or that's something that's so unusual or what. It is exactly how the universe works. Moving on. God seems to throw himself on the side of man who knows exactly what he wants if he is determined to get just that. Now, I know what I want. I know what I want. I've been meditating on it for a while now. I've been giving it some time. I meditated on it before, but I wasn't that determined. I'm not going to lie. I started a YouTube channel quite a few years ago, almost 5 years ago now, and I was posting consistently. And then I got wrapped up in other things and I tried other stuff and I followed the path and what seemed like the current. And guess where the current led me? Right back here. It threw me out of where I was at and it led me right back here. And so now I'm determined because I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing and it feels right. And I have a definiteness of purpose. And I feel that God now is giving me more of those downloads. Just like it says in this book, God throws himself on the side of the man who knows exactly what he wants. I feel that universe, source, mother nature, let's call her Mubba, okay? The mothership is giving me more messages because I am open to receiving and because I have a definiteness of purpose and I'm determined. So if you are not determined, take a moment to review whatever it is that is your mantra, and really start engaging with it every day and determine what you want and go for it, because then the universe, all of this will be on your side working in your favor. I love that. Then ideas can be transmuted into cash through the power of definite purpose plus definite plans. This is my definite plan. Okay. My definite plan is to give knowledge to people, to be a teacher, because my purpose in life is to be a teacher. I love teaching. I was built for this stuff. I am great at it. If there's anything I feel confident in, it is my ability to teach and to show people a path. And I think that spirituality is just something that I have always loved and wanted to teach. And generating a mind that is resilient and giving people concrete tools to do the things they want to do is something that I know I'm destined for. So I'm pursuing that and I have a definite plan. Now, I think that you too should have a definite plan. If you have not looked up the phrase telos arete, I think you should. TELOS space space ARETE. Essentially, what this philosophy is that you have a specific calling, right? And you have a purpose. That purpose, when you repeat it over and over again, when you go for it with repetition, just like this book practice or teaches you, when you go for mastery, better said, when you go for mastery of that specific concept or idea, whatever it is that you like or you're passionate about or your purpose is, mine is teaching. When I go for that and go for mastery in that, that is my telos arete. That is my mission on this planet. It is my purpose. It is my purpose mixed with the artful mastery of achieving it and going for it that will bring to you the peace of mind that you so deeply deserve. If you are at a place where you feel like you are at rock bottom, that's the perfect place for a foundation. Never forget that. Take that with you today, and I hope that you build that solid foundation and determine what your telos arete is. Take care.